Hi everyone, I'm Stefan.
And I'm Marco, and we're with Leaf and Hops in Lincoln, Nebraska. We're really excited to be here right now in my living room doing this video for you guys. So this is the first beer review that we're doing ever. It's on Zipline's Winter Ale, and the purpose of these reviews that will be happening twice a week is because we want to share the beautiful crafted beer with everyone at home. And we don't want you to have to go out and buy it or not have any idea of what you're getting into before you actually take the first drink. So we're going to provide you with some background information on it.
Yeah, so for those who aren't aware, Zipline Brewing Company is a brewery located here in Lincoln, Nebraska. They're an amazing brewery, and their most notable recent achievement is they just won gold for a different one of their beers, their Copper Alt, at the Great American Beer Festival, which is a national level competition. And I think that is really indicative of how strong the brewery scene is here in Nebraska. And it's awesome to be a part of that scene. Awesome guys. Winter Ale, we weren't exactly sure how to place it stylistically. It's somewhere between a spice beer and a winter warmer, which historically and stylistic notes typically express some form of spice or herbs or Christmas type things. Gingerbread, cookies, sugars, that type of stuff. Higher alcohol content keeps you warm in the winter. And then stronger malt backbone with a very restricted bitterness. So we're actually going to crack this guy open.
Ooh, that smell. Smash it.
So as for appearance, you can kind of see, try to get that as close as possible. Fairly dark. A little bit of red peeping through, but pretty dark brown. The head on it is
Really light gray.
Yeah, it's pretty high carbonation. You can see like the bubbles are pretty big. Pretty excited to get this guy down. Marco, you want to take the first sniff, see what you get?
Most of the sniff is the malts. I get caramel. I get some like breadiness to it.
I also get a little bit of alcohol on there. Definitely.
Yeah, it almost smells. It smells very much like rubbing alcohol and caramel.
That is a lot. Wow, that's a lot of flavor kind of peeping through. It starts for me on the malt at the very beginning. Bready, caramel for sure. And then it kind of gives way to a bitterness on it. I would say, yeah, definitely moderate bitterness. More than I anticipated given the style. The malt flavor itself echoes what the scent was. I would think somewhere between toasty, caramel flavor to it. Marco, what are you tasting?
Yeah, I definitely think the dominant flavor is a bitterness, but although it's dominant and really encompasses your mouth, aside the malts, it's very tasteful and very pulled back by floral hops. I get a lot of hibiscus. That's a lemony flower that's very soft, so you get these soft floral notes, but that lemon definitely mutes the bitter notes and leaves the bitter taste. So it's not overwhelmingly bitter like a pale ale or an IPA would lean towards. Alongside the hibiscus, I think we were talking about it earlier, and there's definitely some spice notes to it. Zipline specifically says it's a spice that is derived from the rye that they use. Yeah, I get that for sure. I think it almost leaves like a jasmine-esque flavor with the hibiscus and the rye spice being melded together for sure. Is there anything else on the flavor?
Yeah, well, quick note before that, you can kind of see the head's already pretty much dissipated. Pretty thin lacing on top that kind of rests on top of there. I think the flavor of the hops, I was kind of sipping at it, it's more of, to me, a herbal type of flavor. Maybe floral. That's what they use to characterize it on the bottle. I get more of a herbal or even like a spicy. It's definitely very, very complex. The other thing the bottle mentions is that the undertones within the beer are going to be threefold: lavender, thyme, and then the indistinguishable citrus is what they claim. I definitely get the thyme for sure. Mm-hmm. Hard for me to pick up on the lavender, and hard for me to pick up on the citrus, but I get the thyme.
I smoke. I've done a lot of reviews on Doha, and a lot of floral notes emerge from there, and I definitely think there's a transition in this beer. There's a great complexity throughout, where it begins, like Seven said, with this maltiness, and then transforms into a dominant bitterness, which then again reveals these undertones that Seven spoke of, where like the hibiscus and jasmine-esque flavors that I mentioned before really get even softer and diminish any flavors of citrus or spice, and you get a nice, really smooth lavender, which pairs well with the thyme as well as the citrus. Which Seven and I we drank a beer before this, really saw grapefruit out of it specifically. So yeah, I mean it's just amazing. It goes from this cute caterpillar and transforms into soft little butterfly. 1. Alright, so we're finally going to give the rating of the beer. And I myself, although I love Zipline, this is really nice complexity. It's not my style. I don't like the bitterness in my lighter ales or pilsners or kolsches. I don't like it at all. Don't give it to me. So I'm going to give it a 6.5, just out of respect for how wonderful it transformed throughout the entire sip. I think it was impressive. So, awesome. 6.5 for me.
For me, I got a little bit higher rating. I did enjoy the bitterness. I definitely enjoyed the complexity of it. I did enjoy how it changed. I gave it some around 7.5. It's also not my favorite style. I definitely lean towards the darker, porters or even like stouts, imperial stouts, that type of stuff. And obviously this isn't that. So... but that being said, what type of beer drinker do you think would enjoy this guy?
Yeah, I think, I do think anyone who likes lighter beers, anybody who likes pale ales, anyone who likes IPAs will generally probably like this one, especially during the winter. You don't drink an IPA during the winter unless you're in Nebraska. So, but, if you want your hops, if you want your bitterness, but you still want, a winter warmer.
A little more of a body to it.
Yeah, you're going to love it.
So, yeah. Lastly, I just want to say this is going to be a weekly series. So if you guys enjoy getting sneak peeks and reviews on beers, if you guys enjoy getting awesome deals on beers, sign up for our email listserv. That's where you're going to find all the above. And lastly, just want to say, love you guys.
Love you.